Hello everyone, I am Subhan. I am working as a DevOps engineer in Coding Tutor. Today I'll show you how we can automate the deployment of a full stack application using Ansible. My code has three components: front end, back end, and database server. Instead of logging in into servers manually, installing packages, and deploying the services manually, we just write the playbook and Ansible will take care of everything. Before jumping into the playbook, let's know what is Ansible and why we use it. Ansible is a configuration management tool which is used to configure the settings. This is agentless. We need not to install any agents on the target servers. Here we need to write the playbooks in the YAML format. Playbook is nothing but it is the instructions which is used to describe what we need to achieve. So in my setup, I have already launched two EC2 instances on AWS. The first server will be my Ansible control node. That's where I have installed my Ansible and I will run my playbook. And this is my second server where my actual application will be deployed. Let's check whether Ansible is installed or not. Here it is. This is the Ansible version. First of all, I need to connect my Ansible control node with my target node. I can do this by adding SSH public key pairs to the target authorized keys. Let's create the SSH keys here. This is the command to create SSH keys. My SSH keys are generated. Let's move to the SSH folder. Here I can find the SSH keys. We need to copy the public keys here. I am copying my public keys of the control node and I need to paste them in the authorized keys of the target node. Here authorized keys of the target node. I am moving into this file. I am pasting my public key. And now I need to add the public IP of the target server to the host file of the control node. Here it is, host file, which is used to describe the tasks which we need to perform on. I am copying the public IP of the target server and I am pasting it here in the host file. Let's check whether the connection is formed or not. This message confirms that both the control node and the target servers are connected. Now we need to write the YAML file. Basically the playbook. I'm going into insert mode. I'm naming it as deploying the full stack application. And I'm giving the host as all. Become S. So here I have given the name of the playbook and host, which tells the Ansible server to run the tasks on the particular server. Here I am giving become as S, which is used. Now I am specifying the tasks here. This is the very first task. I am naming it as installing the required packages. And I'm using the apt module here. We use the apt module to install the packages on the Debian server. And I need to mention the names of the packages which I need to be installed. I'm installing Docker and I'm installing Docker Compose as well. And I'm installing Git here. And I'm giving the state as present. And I'm asking the Ansible to update the cache after installing the packages. Mentioning my second task. I'm giving the name as Docker service start. And I'm taking service module as I need to start the service of the Docker. We need to make sure that the Docker service is up and running. I'm giving the name here. I want Docker service to be started, so I'm giving the Docker's name here. And I'm giving the state here. I'm asking Ansible to make sure the Docker service is started. And I'm giving enabled as S, which gives Ansible the root user privileges. And I'm mentioning the third task in the Ansible playbook, which is cloning the repository. Here I'm using the Git module as I need to clone the repository from the GitHub. And I need to give the URL of my GitHub here. This is my GitHub and this is my repo where my code is present. And I'm copying. I have copied the link of my GitHub repo. I need to give the personal access token. As it is my private repo, I need to give my personal access token here. I need to give the username. This is my username of my GitHub account. I'm copying this one and I'm pasting here. And now I have my personal access token here. I'm copying my personal access token. And in the next step, I need to give the destination folder where the repo should be cloned. I'm giving it as readmx. And I should mention the branch where my code is present. My code is in master, so I'm giving master here. I'm asking Ansible to forcefully clone the repository. And here comes the final stage where we deploy the application by using the Docker. I'm giving the name as deploying containers which are already present in my GitHub repo. And I'm using, so as I'm using the shell module here, as I need to OTP readmx. I'm asking it to change the directory to opt and readmx where my git repo is been cloned there. And I'm asking Ansible to build my compose file. I need to execute my playbook now. The command to execute the playbook is Ansible playbook, my playbook name. It is executing the code. It is installing the required packages, which is our first step of the playbook. It is taking time as it is installing for the first time. Here we can see that all the tasks we have mentioned in the playbook are executed. Let's check in the target server whether all the tasks have been performed or not. The first step is installing required packages. Let's check Docker has been installed or not. Here it is, Docker version. And the second task is ensuring Docker service is running. Let's check whether Docker is running or not. Sudo systemctl Docker status Docker. This is used to check the status of the Docker. Here it is, the Docker is up and running. And the third task is cloning the repository. Let's check whether it has cloned the repository or not. The destination folder is in opt. I'm going into opt. Here we can see the readmx. Here I have my code, front end and back end. Here this is my compose file, which means that it has cloned the repository. And the final step is deploying the containers with the Docker Compose. Let's check whether it has deployed the application or not. I can check it by accessing through the public IP address. Here it is, the public IP address of. Before checking whether it is accessing or not, I should edit the inbound rules of the target server. I am editing the inbound rules of the target folder. I am giving it as all traffic so that all the customers can access the application. I'm saving the rules here. Here it is, my target server. I'm taking the public IP of the target server. Here I'm copying the public IP address of my target server, pasting it. Here it is, the home page of my application. In this way, we can deploy applications by automation process using Ansible.